So just here recently, it was reported on September 3rd by NBC News Chicago that Tren de Aragua, the gang from Venezuela that's been causing a lot of havoc throughout the country, is linked to up to 100 criminal cases and is operating right now in up to 5 U.S. states. Now, of course, that number might be slightly higher, and not all the states involved are blue states, like a lot of people like to assume. So I wanted to give you this information so you could be aware of the current threat level in your area. So in that article, they specifically talked about Illinois and Indiana and then left the other 3 states up for us to figure out, which I think I did figure out, and I will tell you what they are, as well as maybe a bonus state that wasn't included in that number. So first off, we had the 911 call in Chicago where police were getting reports about up to 32 Tren de Aragua gang members infiltrating an apartment complex in the area. That happened on September 2nd. So I can't validate that that all is accurate information, but that's what's coming out, and it just alludes to more activity in the area regarding this particular gang. And then back in March of this year, it was actually reported that a trafficking ring was busted in Indianapolis. So we know that Illinois and Indiana do have these gang members currently operating within them. But what are the other 3 states of the 5 states that they said had these issues? And of course, what might be another state that isn't even included in that number? Well, before we jump into that, I want to mention Midway USA is the biggest supporter of the channel. Thanks to them, I can get out here, give you information like this, hopefully help you get better prepared, and I get to work with some really awesome equipment. So a big thanks to Midway USA for supporting what we do here. Now, we know that one of those 3 states is definitely Colorado. That's where a lot of this hubbub began, over in Aurora, Colorado, where we see this gang activity occurring. And on September 3rd, they actually arrested 4 Tren de Aragua gang members in Aurora, Colorado, related to some of those incidents regarding the apartment complexes there. So things are still moving forward in that arena. Now, another state that you might not be aware of that has this activity in it right now, and I mean recent activity, is actually North Carolina. Now, Charlotte, North Carolina on September 1st reported that a Tren de Aragua gang member was arrested, and they were known as Las Fresas. And they were arrested for terrorism along with a ton of other charges. And interestingly enough, they were also wanted in Texas. And they had been previously arrested in Florida. So that's more states than the 5 we were told about in the report that just recently came out. So what about Texas? I would say that's one of the 5 states for sure. El Paso, Texas was on high alert, according to a report put out by Fox News on August 29th. And their concern was that Tren de Aragua was using the border chaos there as a way to infiltrate the country, and they were targeting El Paso specifically because it is very close to their current headquarters, which is in Ciudad Juarez. So what about Florida, which would make 6 states, not just 5, but number 6 being Florida, definitely has Tren de Aragua activity happening there. Like I said, the person who was arrested named Las Fresas in North Carolina was previously arrested in Orlando, Florida. Well, on the 20th of January this year, 2024, a Tren de Aragua gang member was arrested in Miami who murdered a retired Venezuelan police officer here in the US, here in Miami. So these people are in more than just 5 states. They're definitely at least in 6. And by the way, 4 out of those 6 states are red states. 2 of them are blue states. At least if you want to go off of the electoral map from the 2020 election cycle. 4 of the states we just discussed voted for Trump. 2 of them voted for Biden. You're not insulated from this just because you're in a red state. And there was a lot of people who commented on the previous video saying, well, I'd like to see them try that here in my red state. And they are. In fact, the majority of the states listed in this report are red states. So I just wanted to make sure you were aware of that, because this is a nationwide issue, and it's not just because of one state's or one city's sanctuary policies or anything like that. They are here to do what they will wherever they please. They don't care about what state voted for what. They'll use whatever methods they can to get in here, and then they're going to disperse to wherever they can be profitable or wherever they're given orders to be in order to be the most effective. So just wanted to make sure you have this information. Of course, if you live in any of these states, so one more time, Illinois, Indiana, North Carolina, Colorado, Texas, or Florida, they're there right now doing things right now.